Look East with Susie Fowler-Watt.
Good evening. There's been a new case of foot and mouth disease in Essex. 2 goats were found to be infected inside an existing restriction zone in Canewdon. It's the first new outbreak in the region in more than 3 weeks.
This cottage may seem an unusual setting for the latest outbreak of foot and mouth, but this disease doesn't confine itself to farms. The small village of Canewdon has now seen 5 outbreaks. Here, 2 goats, kept as pets, were found to have the disease yesterday. They were slaughtered this morning.
It's very disappointing for us. We were hoping that we would be able to clear the area, relatively soon. I suppose we had to expect there's always a possibility of some positive samples. It shows that at least doing the sampling is working.
Local farmers are angry that the disease hasn't been successfully contained.
We cannot understand why MAF have taken 48 days, 50 days to get to say that this has got a foot and mouth case. If somebody hasn't done their job properly. This is a contiguous case. Should have been culled weeks ago.
This is now the 11th outbreak in Essex, the last being at this farm at Laird de la Haye. Today's disappointing news means movement restrictions now look likely to be kept in place for at least an extra 3 weeks. It's believed the goats haven't been moved from this cottage since the outbreak began, but such is the highly contagious nature of foot and mouth that it's likely they caught the airborne disease from pigs at a farm nearby. All animals within a 3-mile radius will now be checked every 48 hours. Jonathan Samuels, BBC Look East, Canewdon in Essex.
Officials from MAF are also investigating a possible outbreak of swine fever near Colchester. A vet raised the alarm after seeing suspicious symptoms in pigs at a farm in Ardley, but MAF says it could be a similar but less serious pig disease. One person has had to be airlifted to hospital after an articulated lorry crashed into the front of a house in Norfolk. Emergency crews were called to the house in Thetford at 8:30 this morning. No one inside was injured.
The tanker was in collision with a car before veering into the front of this house early this morning. Steph Bratley, her baby daughter and mother-in-law were all asleep in the house when the lorry struck.
I was in bed, she was in her cot next to me, and I thought there was thunder. Then I thought it was the kids next door and downstairs, but it was too loud for that, and the house was shaking.
I heard a crash. I thought it was something like thunder, but then the whole house shook. So I got out very quickly, grabbed the dressing gown, grabbed Stephanie and the baby, Jessica, and got out.
Neighbours gathered to watch, and police spent much of the day directing traffic along this busy road, while engineering crews assessed the situation. There were fears that because of the damage to the house, removing the tanker would cause the whole building to collapse.
Our engineer arrived from Brecon and assessed the situation as not as dire as we had thought. So we went ahead with the decision to remove the lorry, and now the Orwell Housing Association are going to have to do running repairs to get the thing back into shape for habitation.
The car was also removed from the scene, and an investigation into how the accident happened is now underway. The 2 people in the car were thought to be seriously injured. One was airlifted to Addenbrooke's Hospital, the other was taken by ambulance to the West Suffolk Hospital. The driver of the lorry was also injured, but not seriously. Carol Bundock, BBC Look East, Thetford in Norfolk.
A woman who was charged with perverting the course of justice following reports of a rape in Peterborough has been released on bail. The woman claimed her friend had been raped in an underpass in Breton. Police now believe the calls they received from the 33-year-old woman were a hoax. The bank holiday football programme kicks off this evening. In Division 2, Northampton Town face Cambridge United. Finally, if you looked at the papers today and saw these shocking pictures of a newborn lamb stuck in a muddy field because of foot and mouth restrictions, there is some good news. She's found a home on the farm, adopted by farmer Pat Key's children at Acle in Norfolk, and she's been called Lucky. Now, what has the weather got in store for us? It will be dry overnight with clear spells and light winds leading to some ground frost. Minimum temperature 1 degree Celsius, that's 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, clouds will thicken in the morning with a little light rain or drizzle at times. Maximum temperature 11 Celsius, that's 52 Fahrenheit. That's all for now, but there's more regional news tomorrow at 5:40. Have a good Easter weekend. Good night.